Hi, I'm Beverly Knight. I would like to introduce you to a wonderful woman who I regard as not only a colleague but also a friend. She is a nail technician. She's been doing my nails for about a year now. Why is she so special? Well, this woman has overcome pretty tragic circumstances to be able to even get to a point where she was working with nails. She is simply the bravest woman I know. Come with me and let's meet Bella Loretta. So Loretta, I want you to take me right back to the beginning. You've been doing nails for a while now, but I know that the kind of path to you doing nails started off with a really tragic circumstance that happened to you. Tell me about that.
Right, well, I was 19 and I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. So that is an autoimmune disease and it attacks the fluids around all your joints. Everyone always says, where does it hurt? What part? Like, is it just in your wrist? But no, it's everywhere. There isn't one sort of place. And I was working in London. I felt like I was getting on with life and I was so young and just starting out.
So when you actually got that diagnosis and you know, you were trying to manage a job and with all this pain and everything, what actually happened? I mean, did you manage to continue with that job? What happened?
Well, I just remember I've got a few memories on different occasions in my head. First one was I was working as a receptionist. I picked up the phone and I found that when I picked up the phone I couldn't get the phone to my ear. It was very odd. I couldn't quite tell if it was my arm, my wrist, it just, something wasn't right. And I worked for a physiotherapy company, so one of the directors come up and he was like, I think you should go home and get that checked, it's not quite right. He saw me struggling up and down the stairs at 19, that's very odd. And that was one occasion, and I remember that day he said to me, I don't want to scare you, but I think you may have rheumatoid arthritis. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that is. Do you know what? Not many people do. It's not out there enough. You hear arthritis and you think, okay, that's an old person's disease. That is what people associate it with, but you'll be very surprised. The second occasion was I was walking through town and I had to take my shoes off because I was in agony, and it was the most embarrassing, the most traumatic, the most horrible thing I've ever gone through, to walk through London with my shoes off. I couldn't make it. I had to take them off and just walk, and if people were looking at me, they were looking at me. I couldn't walk. It was killing.
When you got that diagnosis, you're sitting in the doctor's office and he tells you, Loretta, you've got rheumatoid arthritis. In that moment, and how did you feel?
Well, I wasn't told straight away. They didn't know what was wrong with me. I had doctor's appointments, I had hospital appointments, I was taken to hospital in an ambulance because I woke up crying in my sleep. I couldn't move my head off the pillow, I couldn't do anything. So really, I was going to the doctors, no one was telling me anything. No one was saying, this is what you've got. They was ruling out rheumatoid arthritis, they were ruling out everything serious. So it wasn't until we went and paid to see a specialist that I was told, he told me, get on the bed, take all your clothes off down to your underwear, I need to see all your joints. My mum was with me and he literally tapped a few of my joints. Loretta, you've got rheumatoid arthritis.
From that point, I know that you tried to carry on, you know, working, tried to manage the disease, and subsequently, you know, you found you couldn't, and you ended up losing your job. What happened there? What was the circumstance?
Well, I think at the start, when I was first diagnosed, I had lots of hospital appointments, lots of blood tests, lots of medication, and I thought, I was very numb and I weren't quite understanding what was going on. All I wanted was to go back to normal, and I felt if I did that, I could forget it. No. You can't forget pain, you can't escape from the pain. So I went back to work, I went back a bit too soon. I was struggling with a few little things, but I was really pushing myself. I thought, I can do this. but they were treating me different. They wouldn't ask me to do things anymore, they'd go to someone else, and I felt like, oh, is there any point me even being here? And it's all very much a blur, and all I kind of remember is it eventually come to the point where we needed to have meetings. Took my mum with me to be like a witness. I had my dictaphone, had to record everything that was said to take back to solicitors, because basically what they were doing was discriminating against my disease, and they wasn't allowing me to be a normal girl again.
Okay, so at this point you've got this diagnosis and now you've got no job.
Yeah.
What was the trigger that got you from that point to, right, I'm going to do nails, I'm going to do something else?
It took me about a year. I was probably off work and doing nothing for a year, because I definitely was depressed, and I was coming to terms with coming to terms with my life-changing situation, and that was really hard at 19. I just studied beauty in general. I'd done level 2 and level 3, so that was 2 years, but I just found my heart went with nails, and I just ended up having a passion for nails, which I never thought I would ever have.
How challenging was it to work doing nails, which I think of as quite intricate and quite fiddly and getting right down there, knowing that you've got rheumatoid arthritis and it's going to hurt? How did you manage to get through it?
With great difficulty. It was so painful, and I tell you now, I still have days where I think, oh, can I do this? Because I'm in so much pain, but I do find just the whole job satisfaction of doing it gets me through. That's like my medication. It's like I don't need anything else but a happy customer, or the enjoyment of doing it, and look what I've just created. So yeah, it is really painful and it's really hard, but when you've got a passion for something, it kind of overrides all of that and you carry on.
So you left your job, you kind of had no choice, and here we are in your salon. So what happened there? Tell me about leaving college and actually setting up Bella Loretta Nails.
Well, I left college, got all my qualifications, started it from home, was doing loads of free nails just to get really good at it. Work when I was feeling good, when I was feeling bad, and when I was aching I didn't have to work. I could just go at my own pace, and then yeah, Bella Loretta was born.
Brilliant. And so how long have you been in business now?
I would say, as Bella Loretta, I'd say the past year.
And how have you found working for yourself?
I love it. I just love doing it, that I don't ever stop. I don't give myself a break, and sometimes I think if I was still in London at least I'd have a day off. But no, I absolutely love it. It's a dream job.
I don't always see, you know, the Loretta that has any kind of an illness. How do you kind of manage with that?
This is how I cope. It's like my coping mechanism. Smiling, being happy, making you happy, and having a nice relationship. I can feel the pain and I'm uncomfortable, but I think get through it, because there's nothing I can do to change it.
Your business has even got to the attention of a magazine, because they wrote your story, didn't they?
Yes.
Tell me a bit about the magazine, who they are and how that happened.
Yeah, well, it was Pick Me Up magazine that published my story, and that was amazing. I can't believe that. That was just like, oh my god, I'm in a magazine, like people want to know my story. And then I've got the actual NRAS website that have published my story, which is National Rheumatoid Arthritis Society, and they've published my story. Now I believe they've had quite a feedback from it, and since sharing my story I've had a lot of people contact me, so with their problems, or to say how I've inspired them, or it's just lovely. Until I decided to share my story, it took me a long time to even open up and admit that I had something wrong with me, because I felt ignoring it would go away. So yeah, people contacting me and telling me their stories inspires me to carry on, as well as me inspiring them.
Tell me a bit about other people that you've kind of managed to work with other celebrities and people like that?
One of my most memorable moments was the Inside Soap Awards and the Soap Awards, where I got to do the Hollyoaks cast, past and present, including people like Carly Stenson, Jodie Albert, Rachel Shenton, Rona Wall, lots of them. It was incredible. They were really lovely people, really warmed to them, they warmed to me, and I loved it. And I also got to do the Elton John Ball, where I get to go to the posh hotels they're staying in. That's an eye-opener for me. You get to go in their room and sort of mingle with them a little bit, and they welcome you in, and yeah, those memorable moments for me.
I heard that you worked with Kelly Brook.
Yes, yeah, that was great, because she was doing a show with the Crazy Horse Paris. And she was on stage doing her part in that, so we sort of blinged her up with some showgirl nails. She loved it, and then we got to watch the show after.
I know you've got like a new business as well that you've just kind of ventured into with your nails. Tell me a bit about it.
My following on Twitter and my following on Facebook, who were like, I'd love to have your nails, Loretta, so there you go, idea. Stick-on nails, I design them, I make them to fit your nails, and everyone can have Bella Loretta nails.
Fantastic. So how does that happen? How can people get in contact and get to get those stick-on nails?
Basically, you could just tweet me, message me. I'm on all the social networks, so contact me and we'll talk. But I make them all custom made, so this bit I like to make clear to people, they're not just a set you can buy. We talk, we discuss, I send things to you, you try on, you send back. It's a very good system. They all fit your nails, they're designed how you want them, shaped how you want them, whatever you want. You can copy Kelly Brook's nails, Beverly Knight's nails, you can have whatever you want on your fingertips.
Where do you see Bella Loretta in 5 years and then going forward?
God, I just want to keep growing, build my regular clientele. I'm always wanting to welcome new people. I'd like to build my celebrity world and just keep doing my stick-ons. I want to create a brand. I'd like to have Bella Loretta the brand, you know, selling my stick-on nails in shops, in salons, just to be out there and be known, be more widely known. And I've had people contact me from the US and Italy for my stick-on nails, so that gives me a bit of hope.
I first came across Loretta on Twitter. I noticed her amazing nails. I love getting my nails done as well. I love sparkly nails and everything. And that to me was the big draw, the big fascination. In Loretta doing my nails and just getting to know her as I have done over the past year, I found her to be not just a lovely woman, but an incredibly brave and resilient woman who was determined to take something so hard to deal with, something that would change her life permanently, and make it work for her own betterment. There are many people that I meet in my job. I'm really fortunate to go here, there, everywhere, meet amazing people, but there are a few people who kind of make that lasting impression. Loretta was one of those people, to the point where she's not just someone I occasionally work with, she's someone I consider to be a good friend.